Have you ever said yes when you really wanted to say no? This is a guided meditation to help you work through some of the effects that this has had on your life. I'd like you to close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Now, I'd like you to recall a time when you said yes when you really wanted to say no. Ladies, for you, this could be a time when you said fine instead of how you really felt. Perhaps you've never really been fine, but you got used to saying that, but it's okay. Guys, for you, this could be a time when you went along with the boys because you did not want to appear weak. We've all had those moments. I'd like you to feel into that feeling and be with your emotions as you do. Think about that experience. Think about what it meant for you. Think about where you were, what you were doing, and how you felt before you said yes when you really wanted to say no. Think about the impact that may have had on your life at that moment in time. We can't change what happened in the physical world, but we can support you in letting go of the emotional trauma that stayed with you for however long it's been since this event happened. As you think about this, I'd like you to forgive yourself for betraying yourself. Because whenever we say yes, when we really want to say no, it is essentially an act of self-betrayal. We are placing someone else's happiness ahead of our own. We are making a sacrifice. We are never meant to sacrifice. When we sacrifice, when we go against what we know is true within us, we open the door and we create anger, bitterness, and resentment toward the person we said yes to. And it could have been a one-time event, or it could have been something that once you started it, it kept happening. And now there was no way to change it. But right now we're going to do exactly that. And we're starting with forgiveness. So I'd like you, in your mind, feel how bad that felt when you said yes when you really wanted to say no. And now just take a moment and say to yourself, I forgive myself. I forgive myself for it all. As you forgive yourself, allow yourself to return to a state of innocence, the state of innocence that you were in the moments after you were born. The innocence that you know is who you really are. Now, I'd like you to think back through that moment, through that experience, and replay it in your mind. But this time, you're going to speak your real truth of that experience in this present moment. Yes, you can still say no to the energetic impact of saying yes. So I'd like you now, in your mind, as you're remembering that experience, as the emotions are coming to the surface for you, I'd like you to say what you really wanted to say all along, which is no. Be with that for a moment and recognize that you're saying no and have a powerful impact on how that affected you in your life energetically. It is almost like being able to go back to that very moment and change what we said and change what we allowed. Now, having done that, having forgiven yourself, having returned to a state of innocence, and finally having spoken the real truth of what you wanted to say in that very moment. I'd like you to realize that you are now energetically free from that experience. You're energetically free of the emotional impact of that experience. And you can go forward in your life feeling free from that experience. But not only that, you can do this yourself for other experiences. You can repeat this meditation as often as you like. Depending on your unique life experience, you may have hundreds or even thousands of these little self-betrayals, or perhaps big self-betrayals, in your subconscious mind, where they may be creating disease in your body as a response to the distrust, resentment, and bitterness toward yourself and others who knowingly or unknowingly supported you in betraying yourself. For all of us, our goal is to be able to speak our truth, sourced in our own innocence and in the light of the innocence of those we share it with. In my work, I provide people with the content, tools, practices, guidance, and accountability to discover and walk the path of speaking their truth as a part of a 6-week one-on-one coaching program that I developed. You see, I'm a product of incest who believed that staying silent and invisible meant safety for my grandmother and I. As a result, I spent much of my life not speaking my truth and betraying myself and the validity of my own thoughts, opinions, feelings, and emotions. During my 7-year healing journey, I learned to speak my truth and now guide others on their journey. My name is Lynn Everard, and I'm the author of the book, How Speaking Your Truth Could Save Your Life. To learn more about me and my work, and to download a free chapter of my book, please visit www.lynneverard.com. Thank you for listening, and I hope this supports you in freeing yourself from all those moments when you said yes, when you really wanted to say no. And remember that you can listen to this as often as you need, and you can apply it to each and every moment where you said yes when you really wanted to say no, as those moments appear in your life. So thank you for listening, and may you receive the peace and the joy and the benefit of this meditation. Thank you.